congratulations
Thank
to you
so much,
on
man.
all the success and everything that you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well deserved, brother.
Man, it's a lot of
How
work.
do you feel?
I feel blessed, man. I'm happy because it really feels like everything is coming at the right time. You know, this is like the greatest summer I've had in my life, where I went on tour with August Alsina for 30 cities. My single, my project came out. It was top 3 on iTunes. Got the best.
Feel good.
Yeah,
You're not even good. You feel good.
I feel good. Jesus is in the building.
Because God said.
God said it. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like a blessing. Just everything is just happening, man. And people are starting to really get my personality as well. So it's dope, man. Just blessed.
That's amazing.
That's
but
blessed.
we got to backtrack because.
Let's get it.
Shouty, like,
Yeah.
you not no regular artist, Shouty, like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
You graduated, got your communications degree.
Yeah,
Talk
yeah.
about that student part of you.
Oh man, you know, I'm Nigerian. You know, I'm Nigerian descent, so my family was really big on education. So my parents believed that you either be excellent or don't do it.
Right.
So
Igbo, right?
I'm Igbo and Yoruba.
No, you're.
Yeah, I'm both of them. So
So can you speak the language, mate?
a
Like, a little bit.
little bit. You
How
know?
do you say hello?
Hello, Baoni.
Baoni.
Yeah, Baoni.
Baoni.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
that's Yoruba for.
Let me find
Yeah.
You
So,
about to teach us something. Okay, go ahead.
so when it came down to it, I had to finish. It was between Northwestern and Princeton for me.
And you went
And I
Northwestern.
went to Northwestern because they give a little bit more money, but it was
That's
but
all
it,
right.
yeah. But it was a blessing to go to college because I learned so much about myself. And I was touring while I was as an artist. I was touring while I was an artist while I was in school.
Stop.
Yeah, I was going to Rutgers University. I was
Stop
doing Howard Homecoming. Like
Stop it.
I swear.
Stop right now.
I
Stop.
swear.
Hashtag hold on a minute there. Because there's this fallacy that's going out
Uh-huh.
that you can't do music and go to school at the same time. You're a prime example of that.
Oh yeah.
And you were engaged. How were you a student? What kind of student were you?
I didn't really like school too much.
Oh, glory. That's all right. But you graduated.
I had to do what I had to do. You know what I mean? Like, so what happened was it taught me how to multitask because I was in Chicago and I would have to take the train to the studio and study my lines. I study my classes
Wow.
while I was doing that. And then in the break of that, then I go to open mic. And before it's my turn, I'm doing my, communications homework. So
Making it work.
Making it work because I wanted it that bad, So that's why I was able to translate to now doing the acting and the music because I've always been doing multiple things at the same time. So
That's wonderful.
yeah.
So we graduate.
We graduate.
And in the midst of that, you're reading your scripts, you're doing your lines. You're not only a musician, but of course an actor.
Yeah, so I didn't even plan on being an actor. I didn't go to school for that. I didn't study it. It wasn't something that was like my dream.
Right.
It was, I graduated and I was touring and me and my manager at the time, we weren't making a lot of money for it, to survive. So he was like, yo, why don't you just try to get a commercial or like do like a print magazine, modeling or something.
Okay.
And I happened to book my first actual audition that I've ever had in my life, and for a major role for this TV show called Boss. So I got thrown into the acting world.
But you got it,
and I got it, and it worked. So, and it's funny because no agency in Chicago took me because I had no resume. And the only reason why this one took me is because her son went to Northwestern.
Nice.
So it was
Come
like,
on, connect.
you know what I mean?
Come on, connect.
It was like divine for it to be that. So I did Boss. So my first episode on Boss was literally my first like acting class.
And you nailed it.
Yeah, and it was dope.
Do you remember the one line from that show that you will never forget, or what was the hardest scene that you had to record?
The hardest and the most fun was the sex scenes.
Oh, glory.
Yeah, you could, your boy made Pornhub, a couple times, you know what I'm saying? You could Google me, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Didn't even ask you that damn question, but all right, you answered it. That's
I'm definitely a GIF. Is that what you say? You couldn't see it multiple times.
So how did you prepare for that role? Was it like awkward, or was it like, yo, shout it, let go?
Nah, it was kind of both. But I had to realize that, you have to be professional. It's very different from, just being so new, I didn't know what to expect. And
Okay.
I literally had to rely on my intuition, my instincts. So that's kind of where like I trust myself so much now because I was thrown into a world that I had no idea.
Made it happen.
And I made it out from just trusting and obviously being helped by, Kelsey Grammer and the writers and stuff. But
That's awesome.
it literally was like, don't change your formula. Just stay true to who you are and stay true to the craft. Yeah.
That's awesome. So what piece of advice, because I heard something, I don't know if you heard that interview where Gucci Mane, he did a scene in one of the movies that he that he had.
Right.
And during the sex scene, like he fell asleep, mate.
Oh, you fell asleep?
Has that ever happened to you?
No. But you know what?
Like in the act, he fell asleep.
I can understand because you do it so many times. You do the same thing. So it is possible. And people probably didn't sleep from working the night before. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to look out for my man. Yeah. He was, you know. But again, it's so tedious the way they shoot because something that's like 10 seconds to people, we've doing it for 8 hours to get the right angles to this and this. So
you don't see that part.
You don't see the hard work that goes into it. So, you know, shout out to Gucci, man. He's killing too.
Nice. So let's transition. So we have Boss.
Yeah.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.
And then something else comes in.
Yeah. So actually,
Dre.
Here
comes Dre.
Yeah. And in that time period, man, there was a time where I really didn't even want to do music. I mean, do acting anymore. It was so stressful because I never had the auditioning process.
Right.
So after the show got canceled after 2 seasons, I had to audition. And you hear no all the time. Mm-hmm. So I was so close to getting Survivor's Remorse. Then there was one that I basically had Empire. Then I had this and this. So it was like, yo, what's going on? And you want to give up. You know, you're like, is this really for me? Maybe I just got lucky. You know.
So what kept you?
What kept me was God, man. Like
Nice.
I prayed a lot and like I asked for clarity. Like, what am I here for? And once I did that, the audition that I got was for Power. So then, but the thing was, another test of how bad I wanted it was I was in Atlanta. I was living in Atlanta at the time. So I had to fly myself to L.A.
Yo, damn.
Yes. I had to fly myself to L.A., put myself up, and not even legit, like, be told I'm going into the room to audition. They were like, put yourself on tape first. So I was like, all right. So I flew out, spent like $2,000-$3,000 for the whole time.
Wow.
And it's like, I want this that bad.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't get back for 3 weeks after I sent my tapes. I'm like, all right, do I stay? Do I go?
So what were you doing in between that
Music.
time?
In that time,
Nice.
I recorded a record that I had at my first record kind of was so crazy called Lotto.
Right.
That in that time period. So it was like, all right. So then I did that. Then they called back and they're like, all right, we love what you're saying. But I didn't know that they were testing my tape against everyone else's. So you're like defeated, but you don't know that you're the bar that's being set. So
Right.
It's just all about believing in you, man. Like I really had to believe in myself.
So how is that transition? Because I'll tell you a true story. My best friend, like #loves you.
Yeah.
And then she saw you on Power.
Yeah.
And she's like, wait a minute. He does music.
Yeah.
So she started Googling you.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's how the process went for
Yes.
you. Once people saw you on Power,
Yes.
they like made that quick shift into your music.
Yeah. And
No, does that bother you if they know you from being Dre from Power and not know you from doing music first? Or it's like, whatever?
No, at this point, again, like I used to be like, man, like I wish my story was like this. But then no, my story is ill. And I had to embrace it because Power is like the ultimate label for artists. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you're good, you're gonna win because you have so many people glued to this and invested in it that they're all doing their homework on who is this person. So that's why I took my time with my project Jeep Music. And when we did Jeep Music Volume 1, I had to literally take my time because I knew all the eyes and ears are gonna come back to listen. Yo, is he actually dope? So I had to make the project undeniable for people.
Nice.
So I love the fact that it's that war. It's like, dang, I love you, but I can't stand Dre.
Right.
But you know, and I love that because you know you're paying attention.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And we're going to transition into the new project.
Yeah.
But I know they're going to kill me if I don't get into Dre.
Yeah, let's get it.
So when you go on the street, do people, what is the reaction for Rotimi and Dre?
At this point, it's just like straight shock. Like people just don't know how to react. And that's like, for any artist, man, that's the dopest compliment when people get starstruck. You know what I mean? They just respect you for what you do.
Okay.
And so like,
so they don't try to cut you or nothing?
No, never that.
They can decipher.
They can decipher. Obviously, on the internet, you know, people will say whatever. You know, and again, it's like at first, I look at my manager like, yo, this person just said X, Y, Z. They're like, not talking about you, bro. Like you can't curse them out. So you look
at the comments? You
at first, yeah.
Now you don't.
No, I don't. Now I don't, good or bad. You know what I mean? Like I don't because I just want to keep working. You know what I mean? But before, you're human, so you were like, okay. You get a conversation about, oh, I love your songs, but F Dre, and it's like, Like, okay, wait. All right, well, that means you're doing your job, bro. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like,
You're doing good.
You're doing good. So it was a battle at first, but now I think it's like really fly.
You appreciate it.
Oh,
now.
I appreciate it all, man. I appreciate it.
Do you remember one of the worst things or the best things that somebody has ever commented about your character?
I mean, the worst thing is obviously I want you to die, you know.
Okay, then.
But then they're like, no, not you, the
but
character.
Then come back. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's real. And again, it's a testament to the writing, you know, and how people affect. But then the coolest part is that right after that is like, but yo, your project is ill, dog. I love, like, I've been playing it, da-da-da-da. So the dual effect of just my talent is like ill to me.
Right.
You know? That's the coolest part.
So anything else that we can expect with Power from Dre, or what can you tell us? Like, I don't know if you want to drop some secrets.
No,
like,
I got you. I'll tell you this. I mean, we're already doing, like, this is the first season that I'm doing like gun training and stunt working and stuff like that. So this is obviously going to be an action-packed episode. It's like a legit war.
So
you
like
know what I
you're gonna
mean?
be like martial arts type stuff, or
you'll see. But like, you know what I mean? Like it's one of the
flipping anybody.
We'll see
on your shoulders or anything.
Hopefully, but but it's one of those things where it's a legit war this season, and again, like for Courtney and everybody to believe in me to be able to go head to head with an Amari Hardwick, you know, and Joe Shakur and 50, where it's like,
but you rumbling with them,
you know,
You're
and it's a blessing. So it's gonna be a real action packed season for sure.
That's amazing. So now let's switch it on over.
Yeah,
music.
Yes.
Jeep music.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Okay, so I'm born and raised in New Jersey, and I had an ex-girlfriend. The story is
who she is. What's her name? Do we need to find her?
Nope, not at all. But yeah, we dated while I was in college, and the story of Jeep music is the first from 19 to when I first got Power. So she was there through it all, off and on. She saw everything, me do this, her do that,
and
good things, bad. But it was so toxic at the end of it, you know what I mean? Because we were young trying to figure it out at the same time. You know,
Gotcha.
we understand that, you know. So it was me and with Fifth, like Jeep music, he was like, just write something that's your life. Like what have you been through that people can relate to? So the ups and downs in our relationship is legit word for word, that whole project.
Wow.
From Want More. And the cool thing is, like, a Want More is like an Afrobeat vibe, but it's basically how I met her. You know, it's like how we met, where she was in a bad situation. And I was like, look, if you want better, and I'm not saying leave, homie, but, you know, if you want more, call me, you know? So it's kind of thing where it starts.
Want more.
Want more. Exactly. Yes.
Available. I'm quick.
Available everywhere. Yeah. So it goes from that to records like Living Foul to What We Do, and the Jeep represents, she's known for having this dope white Jeep in Jersey, and that followed us throughout our whole relationship.
Right.
So like, I just wanted I wanted to use that as a metaphor. Like, that's why I'm sitting on it, because it's like I conquered that relationship, you know. So now we're doing volume 2, which will be basically my life now. You know, everything I'm seeing, from this to groupies to fake friends to real friends, everything that I'm seeing right now. So, but volume 1 is the first one, man, and people are really connecting, and that's why we made it flow, so you don't even have to skip it. It's a true story.
Concept with the Jeep and everything.
Everything.
So would you, if she called you now, would you take her back? You want to call her now?
No, we ain't gotta call nobody.
What's
you
the
can turn that
number?
off.
Show?
Yeah, I'm positive. Okay. Yeah, what's up with Miami though? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? 103.5 the beat was.
So okay, since we're touching on relationships, what kind of gals are we looking for? Because we got to clear her and make sure she's right for y'all.
I need that.
Okay.
I love the number one thing is you need somebody who's like understanding for my lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like, just really dope understanding. She got to be nasty.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're nasty, like really nasty, like filthy nasty.
Like, what's bar nasty?
Like, there's no limitation to the things we can do.
Nothing
with
at
each
all.
other. Yeah.
So objects and.
I mean, not objects. No. There's more so me and her.
Okay, just
my
two.
object, her object. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
So anyway, so yeah.
This you, not me. I ain't saying the answer, dog. You giving the answer, shot. Okay,
hey,
so we want a nice one.
We want a very understanding. She's spiritual. I like spirituality.
Okay.
I'm very spiritual.
You believe in God?
Yes.
Okay.
Has to be intelligent, man. And beauty. You know, beautiful. You know, I see a lot of it. So like something that would make me say, okay,
You're connected.
I'm connected. You know, I don't need anything else. So
cool.
Yeah.
So we might have to start a show, Rotimi.
Yeah. Let's
Looking,
do it.
hashtag.
Yeah, let's do it.
Can we do it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a perfect city to do it in.
866-964-BEAT. Not right now. We're going to put it on the answer machine. We'll call you back and see who's good.
Amen.
We'll have to screen them. All right. So you're not dating now?
Nah, I'm chilling.
Hey, you said that with a quickness, shot.
Oh, yes,
okay.
Yes.
Ain't okay. All right, man. So volume 2, you're working on that now.
Yeah.
Any features? Who can we expect on that?
Well, actually, I'm working on volume 2, but the features are gonna be on. Before we get to volume 2, I'm putting features on 1.5. So I'm taking the records that are on Jeep Music Volume 1,
right,
and putting some dope features on it, man. Like? I got there's a record I got called Kitchen Table that I got both Trey Songz and Ty Dolla $ign on.
Yo, kid.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so stuff like that. You know what I mean? And some other things we working on. But
you know what I see?
What's up?
You and SZA.
Wow.
Is that happening?
I mean,
I don't know.
Like
Is that in the works? I don't know.
Yeah, we talking about it.
I mean, in the air, catch it.
She's one of the most amazing people. But yeah, she said that her favorite record off the project was What We Do. So she said, I asked her, you know, and she said she'll love to do it.
SZA, we want to hear that.
Yeah, so
okay,
it's in the works. You know, we're working on it.
So, any other artists out there that you really want to work with? I know 50. He brought you on.
Of course,
so was a part of that process, rather.
I'd say Tory Lanez, man. I think Tory Lanez is awesome. You know, I think Drake is awesome as well. I think, those are my favorite two right now. I like Party Next Door. He's fly.
I can see some nice melodies on that.
Yeah, he's ill. And I think that's it really for me, like in terms of who I really want to.
Either way, we're happy with Rotimi. We like the music.
Hey, I love it.
Dre, whatever. Either way, we'll love you. We'll love you for who you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
So anything else you're working on that the beautiful people out there need to know about?
Oh, man, season 5 is happening. We're filming right now. You know, so I'm going back to New York today to get back on set tomorrow. So season 5, volume 2 is coming. But honestly, man, just enjoy Jeep Music Volume 1. I promise you'll love it. We're 6-7 million streams right now, and so it's connecting. So I'm just honored, you know, and keep supporting, man. It's a blessing, man, truly.
And you working because they saw you at that BET experience, and I was waiting to see. I'm like, Lord, they gonna go crazy for this man. Once you got into the crowd, like, does that happen a lot? They grab you and just want to touch you.
Yeah, they touch everywhere, man.
But you don't mind.
Nah, sometimes I do a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's okay. It comes with it. Yeah,
you'll take it.
I'll take it.
You'll take it.
Yeah.
So Want More is the single,
yes.
And shout out to DJ 33 and the Third. Just so you know, I'm just saying, like, he been playing it in his mix shows, and like it's been in rotation, like.
Oh, yeah, this is the home. This is
so you know each other.
Oh, this is like 10 years.
Okay, so like he's playing your record.
I'm happy for you, brother. Cause like that's a blessing, man.
Don't do that. Come on here. So how do you guys know each other? Chicago?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Chicago. I was in college. Right. Yeah, when I was in college, they were always showing love at the radio, man. Always. Chicago, I'm forever grateful for Chicago, man. Like GCI, Power 92, all them, man. They was showing love, bro. They was showing love. Yeah, it's been some time, man.
And you know what? This is important because you see how long ago was that? A couple of years, eh?
I've been here for 3.
So it's been maybe 10.
10 years. Look at that here.
10 years.
Yeah. Prime example. You never know when things are going to reconnect.
You never know.
What position? You see what I mean? Because you just don't know. So this is a prime example. Just do what you need to do. Be clean. Keep your face clean and be right.
Man. You know, I'm learning in this business, man. The more you're good to people, the more you stay genuine and kind to people, man. That's the best thing you can do as an artist, beyond the talent, you know.
And you have that.
Yeah.
It's true. It's very small, but you have that genuineness in you. And just keep that. Like,
always.
No, just please. Just keep that. Because I'm going to try to find a girl for you in South Florida.
Please.
Maybe in Canada where I'm from, but whatever.
Are you from Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, I like Toronto.
A good one. A good one. We're going to screen her. We're going to have a show.
There we go.
Rotimi, looking, Is it you?
Is it you?
Yo, give me credit on that, son. Give me credit.
Want the publisher on that one.
But Rotimi, it's been a pleasure, brother.
Thank you.
Anything that you remember from Rotimi back then?
No, he always been working. Like the work just
hashtag working.
Yeah, the work don't stop.
Yeah, man.
It pays off, obviously.
That's all right. You keep on grinding, yeah?
Yeah, let's get it.
How grandma used to say, come on, boy, keep on working.
Let's get it.
So before we depart, there's a little game that we like to play.
Okay.
You game for it?
I'm with it.
All right. So the first thing that comes into your mind.
All right.
You're going to tell me.
Got
Don't think about it. No thoughts.
No
Just
thoughts.
say,
No thoughts.
Food.
Okra soup. Nigerian food.
What does that say?
Nigerian food.
No, what is that?
Oh, so it's like a stew. It's like a stew with a dough that you dip into like okra and different herbs and stuff.
I'm about to get educated. How do you say that?
Okra soup.
Okra soup. Okra soup.
Look at you now. Okay.
Damn, you don't mess me up. I forgot the other part. Dog, nabbit. Women. Glory.
Oh, glory.
He said,
That's the word. Glory.
Music.
Life.
Power.
Fire.
Faith.
Everything.
50.
The man.
Rotimi.
The man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rotimi.
Yeah.
Out now.
Yes.
Jeep Music.
Yes.
If you're looking for a good-looking fella, he's educated.
Yes.
Doing music. And so much more.
Yes. If you want sexy Nigerian butterscotch, you contact me on Rotimi Music Instagram. Then on Twitter, you can hit me on Rotimi. I swear to God, I will respond back to you as soon as possible. I love you. Miami, 1035 The Beat.
You got to say my name in that, boy. Just say Stichiz, shout it.
Hey, Stichiz. The beautiful Stichiz is in the building now. She's rocking with your boy Rotimi. Yes.
Get off. Get out. Just get out. I can't. Get the hell out. I'm done.